That was one of the moments where I was like, I don't have to be that 19-year-old body shape anymore.
I'm not 19 anymore, I'm 24.
Spears. And I love Britney Spears. She was the first concert I ever went to.
Let's face it, we've all had that one moment. Maybe it was squeezing into a pair of jeans from high school or realizing your hangover now lasts 48 hours. It hits you like a rogue wave. I'm not 19 anymore. For some of us, that's just a Tuesday revelation. But for others, especially if your name rhymes with Hailey Cleaver, it can show up in the form of eyebrow feuds, Instagram stories, and eerily familiar tattoos. Please don't forget to subscribe and like this video. It is free and help us bring you enjoyable content. And of course, watch till the end. You think your group chat drama is spicy? Wait until you dive into the tangled, juicy, and never-ending web of Justin Bieber, Selena Gomez, and Hailey Bieber. What started as a love triangle now feels like a full-blown telenovela, one that keeps serving more plot twists than a season of Pretty Little Liars. From concerts to cover songs, fashion to eyebrow gate, it's like watching someone copy your homework. And still getting an A. The obsession, the copycat claims, the music, the memories, and the question that refuses to go away. Is Justin Bieber still in love with Selena Gomez? And why does Hailey keep echoing Selena's every move? If you grew up in the early 2000s, your holy trinity was likely Britney Spears, Avril Lavigne, and an iPod Nano. For both Selena Gomez and Hailey Bieber, that pop culture initiation began with none other than Britney herself. Selena once gushed that her first concert was Britney Spears. Fast forward a few years, and here's Hailey saying the same exact thing. I love Britney Spears. She was the first concert I ever went to. Coincidence? Maybe. Or maybe it's the first thread in what fans believe is a long line of copy and paste behavior. There's something nostalgic about firsts. First concerts. First crushes. First breakups that emotionally wreck you while you listen to Cry Me a River on repeat. But when those firsts are oddly mirrored down to phrasing, tone, and even timeline, you start to wonder, is someone living in a parallel emotional universe? And that's just the beginning. Ready to dive into the next twist? Selena plus Justin equals Elena. A couple so iconic, they were basically the Ross and Rachel of the 2010s. On again, off again, always leaving fans guessing, crying, and making Elena is endgame Tumblr edits at 2 a.m. Their relationship spanned almost a decade. A decade. That's longer than some people keep houseplants alive. And yet, despite the drama, the tears, the red carpet moments, and the breakup ballads, it always seemed like they might find their way back. Until they didn't. In 2018, just 6 months after Justin and Selena broke it off for the final time, he married Hailey Baldwin. 6 months. Let that sink in. While some praised him for finding stability, others couldn't help but whisper, did he just marry a rebound? And more importantly, did he ever really get over Selena? We'll get to that. But first, let's talk about the eyebrow that shook the internet. Selena accidentally over-laminated her eyebrows. Oops, no biggie. She laughed about it, made a lighthearted TikTok, and moved on like a true queen. Then bam, enter Kylie Jenner and Hailey Bieber. Suddenly, Kylie posts a random close-up of her perfectly arched brows with the caption, "This was an accident?" Add a screenshot of her FaceTiming Hailey, zoomed in on her brows, and the internet exploded. Coincidence? Fans didn't think so. The comment sections lit up like wildfire, mean girl energy. This is high school all over again. Leave Selena alone. This eyebrow saga became a metaphor, a microcosm of a much bigger obsession fans had been tracking for years. It wasn't just about brows. It was about patterns, mimicry, and a sense that maybe, just maybe, Hailey wasn't over Selena either. Could it really be that deep? Oh, it's deeper. Much deeper. Let's talk receipts. Social media sleuths have compiled entire folders of side-by-side comparisons showing Hailey wearing outfits eerily similar to Selena's. Same jackets. Same sunglasses. Same hair. Even same nails. But wait, it doesn't stop at clothes. Selena once said in an interview, "I wish people knew my heart." A beautiful, heartfelt sentiment. Fast forward to Hailey saying the exact same phrase, nearly word for word, on a podcast. I wish people just knew my heart. Deja vu? Not quite. Selena's tattoos are another flashpoint. Several fans pointed out that Hailey's newer tattoos mirror the placement and style of Selena's, particularly on the back and neck. Even the delicate, minimalist ink designs share shocking resemblance. Is this admiration? Coincidence? Or something else? By this point, fans weren't just noticing. They were documenting. They were drawing red lines on corkboards like they were on an episode of True Detective. And just when you think the rabbit hole ends, it gets darker. Selena shared a moody, emotionally loaded cover of Daniel Caesar's Let Me Go on TikTok. The timing? Heartbreak season. Vibe? Raw and vulnerable. A few days later, Hailey posted the same song on her Instagram story. Now, music is universal. We all listen to the same stuff. But when the pattern becomes repetition of music, phrases, outfits, tattoos, and even hobbies, it starts to feel less like coincidence and more like a carefully curated mirror. Especially when you add in the fact that Hailey has never really addressed the comparisons directly. Silence, in this case, has spoken volumes. But what about Justin in all this? Let's dive into his side of the story. Publicly, Justin seems committed to Hailey. Private yacht getaways, steamy photo shoots, heartfelt Instagram captions. But every few months, boom, a moment breaks the illusion. A resurfaced clip. An old song lyric. A camera catching Justin playing Nothing Like Us in the background of a live stream. Or maybe it's just the way he talks about his past, with emotion that never really feels processed. He once said in an interview, "A part of me will always love her." It was a casual remark. But for fans, that quote has lived rent-free in their heads since the day it aired. Could it be that he hasn't fully moved on either? All signs seem to point to one undeniable truth. Elena is gone, but it's never really left. And that brings us to the heart of it all. Let's ask the uncomfortable question. Is Hailey trying to become Selena? Maybe not consciously, but the patterns are undeniable. When someone echoes your words, mimics your style, sings your songs, and matches your tattoos, it's more than coincidence. It's connection chasing. And what about Justin? Marrying someone isn't the same as being over someone else. You can move on physically, legally, even geographically. But emotionally, that takes work. That takes time. And for Justin, some believe that chapter is still being written. But here's the twist. Maybe Hailey is just as haunted by the ghost of Elena. Maybe she lives in the shadow of that decade-long love story, wondering if she'll ever measure up to the myth fans created. Which raises one final, juicy, soap opera-worthy question. Why are we so obsessed with their obsession? It's more than gossip. It's a mirror. These people, Selena, Justin, Hailey, are avatars of our own relationships. Our own jealousies. Our own fears of being the second choice. Of wondering if our partner still thinks about their ex. Of scrolling through someone's feed and asking, is she prettier than me? This story isn't just theirs. It's ours. That's why we can't look away. If you made it this far, congrats. You've officially earned a PhD in pop culture psychology. But now it's your turn. Are we witnessing a coincidence of shared taste or a calculated attempt at imitation? Is Justin emotionally torn or just misread? Is Hailey playing a role or writing her own story, unfairly tied to a ghost? Let's talk. Hit the comments. Share your take. Or just send this article to a friend and say, dude, read this. Because in the end, this isn't just a celeb love triangle. It's a story about identity, obsession, and what happens when your personal life is broadcast to the world. And hey, if nothing else, maybe it's time we all admit, we don't have to be that 19-year-old body shape anymore. We're older now, wiser, messier, and a lot more interesting. Is Hailey copying Selena? Is Justin still stuck in the past? Drop your thoughts below and let the drama continue.